All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back with the Authority Project. It is 2021 now. It's a happy new year. It's going to be a very happy new year, especially with this guest that I have in here, my new good friend here, Lois Hollis. She is here, she says, to help us in shame and guilt for a successful 2021. Is that right, Lois?
Yes, sir. I'm ready to tell you.
All right. Well, we shall see. We shall see on this episode of the Authority Project.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, feast your eyes and tune your ears. It's that time again. We are live with another episode of the Authority Project. It's the video podcast streamed on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Periscope, where we talk to digital marketers, business coaches, and creators of all kinds on how they've built authority in their field and how you can mimic their success. Developing authority, building your audience, and attracting better clients to your own business. Now, without further ado, let's bring to the virtual stage your host, Brian S. Arnold.
All right, we are back with another episode of the Authority Project in 2021. We're going strong, and we are wanting, needing, and longing for a successful 2021. But we can only do that if we end the shame and guilt, is what Lois says. How you doing today, Lois?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. Lois is going mobile today. We have some difficulties with the laptop today, but we're doing okay. She is here. She's going to handle her business and help us with this topic of guilt and shame. But before we do that, please, Lois, tell us first of all who you are personally and then professionally.
I'm a 77-year-old woman that's going strong.
Nice.
And I was falling down until I realized that shame, guilt, I call them shame, guilt, not shame and guilt. I'll tell you why, was monopolizing my life and made me emotionally and physically ill. But anyway, I cleared that up and everybody couldn't understand why I sprung up so well and got younger and happier and successful. And I told them what I was doing, and they start doing it. And that's how my profession started. It found me. I didn't find it.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm a mother of 3 girls, and they're all living on their own now. One's in heaven right now, but the other ones are still here on earth. And I live in Waynesville, North Carolina, in the mountains.
Amazing. Okay. So what is the current project that you're working on at the moment?
I'm producing a film in a few weeks, and it's called I'm Good. And I am making shame, guilt visible so we all can understand what it is and how to get rid of it.
Amazing. Okay. All right. Do you mind telling us, before we get started, to really dive in, do you mind telling us what your daily routine is at the moment?
Well, when I wake up, I say, thank you, Jesus,
Amen.
for keeping me going.
Okay.
And what do you have me to do today? And I usually wake up with an agenda. Of course, I have an agenda all the time, like SEO or writing or, juicing or taking care of my health, whatever. But there's always one thing I got to do first. And I don't know that until I wake up. And then I usually have, I do a lot of vegetable juicing.
Okay.
And that's been helping me a lot, and some exercise, but mainly it's my diet that I'm pretty well focused on. I'm not vegan. I eat a hamburger, but
Nice.
I retract. I'm 100% Polish.
Okay.
Okay. All 4 of the grandparents came from Warsaw, Poland. So you can't tell me I can be a vegan.
Amen.
I tried that and I passed out. So I have my hamburger, but I also drink vegetable juice from the vegetables I get from the farmer. And that's been my health thing that I do. So
I love it.
There you have it.
Okay, I love it. So let's dive right into this I say guilt and shame, but you say guilt shame. So let's figure out what that means first of all. What do you mean by guilt shame?
Okay, I don't use the and because shame, there's a lot of information out there. Shame, they say, oh, don't do it. Guilt, that's okay, and helps you become moral. But shame works in the unconscious mind. Guilt works in the conscious mind. So one feeds the other. And my clients come to me, oh, Lois, I want to get rid of the guilt. And I said, you can't get rid of guilt until you get rid of the shame that's feeding it. So this, I want to introduce people to a whole different way of thinking about this.
Okay.
And this is what my mission is, to help people understand that shame, guilt is the same. Now, I'm a nurse, okay, for many years. And I can tell you something that you may or may not know. When you have a virus in your brain, they call it encephalitis. Okay. If you have the same virus in your stomach, they call it gastritis. If you have the same virus in your lungs, they call it pneumonia. Okay, that's very simplistic, and excuse the doctors there, but essentially, I'm telling you that the world culture is wherever the organism, virus, or condition is, they name it where the place it is. But it confuses us because we go, oh, we can do shame, but we can't do, well, excuse me, we can do guilt, but we can't do shame. I'm saying they're related. They're together. And so once you know that, you're like, well, I got to get rid of guilt too, because they are twined together. And this changes our mind because we're used to separating them. And therefore, we never get rid of them.
Okay. All right. I like that. So let's dive more into that then. So we all have things that we regret. Some things that are in the past. Obviously, we're talking about guilt and shame. It has to be something in our past that we probably wish we all had to do over. Why does that? Why do these things still linger into our future? Why do we allow that to happen?
Because it's unconscious.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm sure a lot of everyone's been on a journey of emotions and health and wellness. And the reason why we get so far and get frustrated is because we don't do the shame work, guilt work. And that's what I'm bringing out to the public, is that's the missing core that turns it all on, like in business. Oh, I can't do that. I'll never be able to achieve that. I can't set my goals any higher. I'm procrastinating. And that's why I'm so grateful to you, Brian, for allowing me to come on your business show, because it's really, we all have to be focused and do the business side of things, organization and forms and things of that sort. I am not that expert, but I am the expert in the shame guilt that's stopping us from using the right modalities that you present in your film, I mean, in your podcast. So the shame guilt is the cornerstone of any negative emotions. Now, if I may explain,
please do.
We all know what love is.
Right.
It's happiness. We feel God. We feel joy. We have happiness. We're just cruising. We're in our business, right? We're just happy as a lark, and we just feel the love, and we're happy.
Right.
Now, what I'm introducing is that shame guilt is the counterpart to love. Shame, guilt, and energy that comes into us, and it turns our positive emotions into negativity. It's an energy that turns our compassion into depression, turns our intuition into anxiety, turns our passion into anger. So it's a different way of looking at it. So I recommend people, when they're feeling shame, guilt, we all know what that feels like. We just kind of put it on the side.
Right.
And if one thing that I can share is shame, guilt is not ours to own.
What do you mean by that?
It's a foreign energy. That's another long story.
Okay.
But it's an energy that's not of humanity. They say it's normal. I say it's a pandemic.
Okay.
Humanity has always felt shame, guilt. that doesn't mean that it's part of our humanity. So just put shame, guilt on the side and say, you don't belong to me. And then you can say, well, I feel depressed. Okay, let's work on your depression. Let's work on your anxiety.
Yeah. So
Because
yeah. So how does one overcome it? So it seems too simple. Are there quick ways right now, people who are listening and watching right now,
okay,
how do I get control of at least some of the, there's something simple that we can do right now to
yes, so
overcome
that's
it?
what I want to do
Okay.
is just say, Lois said, and you can read on my website, and I have lots of things.
Okay.
Just kind of put that on. I'm shifting, like, just shift your perception and entertain that thought that shame, guilt doesn't belong to me, but my emotions of depression or anger, happiness, joy do belong to me, and I can work on them. Just get it in your mind that guilt doesn't make you a better person.
Okay.
I'm asking people to evolve. Like, I want to help this person, not because I feel guilty if I don't. I would like to help them because it's the right thing to do.
Right. Right.
And I feel that shame, guilt right now has really taken a hold on everybody, including me, because of the pandemic, and we can't talk to people, and with the mask, and we don't want to get close. It's become to the forefront now, and we just have to know, okay, shame, guilt is not part of me. So that's the first step, is to take it and put it on the side of you. Now, I have a process that I help people define the original shame that they accumulated in childhood.
Okay.
They were slapped in the face because they didn't know the right answer in arithmetic, or some bully hit them because they didn't wear the right clothes. I mean, it goes on and on. You could tell me some stories.
Yeah.
So what we do is really go back there and take that. Shame to me looks black, and you just take it, and you can take it off of you. Take it off of you. It's not internal.
Okay.
You feel it as internal, but when you
Right.
really think about it, you're just depressed, or you're just angry, or
But
you don't have
yeah.
any.
But doesn't that feel like, do we feel that way when you say internally? Because we feel like these are the mistakes that we've made in the past, that our decisions have made this. So I want to make sure that I understand too, that when you're
Yeah.
saying don't make it internal, we feel that because we've actually made those decisions on those mistakes. So I need to, can you clarify that a little bit more
Oh,
for us?
definitely, definitely. And it doesn't matter where you live, in what country you live in.
Okay.
We have been taught, our brains have been made to chastise ourselves for doing something wrong.
Okay.
Okay, what does a 2-year-old say? I have my grandsons, and I talk to them, and they like, oh, I put the shoe on the wrong side. Like they all, I don't know why, but all kids put the left shoe on the right foot and the right, and it's funny. But I said, oh, and they go, oh my goodness. I go, no, you did a da. It's a da. It's not a
Mm,
mistake.
okay. Okay.
Okay, but we're taught that, oh my goodness, it's a mistake. You did bad. You didn't study right. I'm very dyslexic, so you can imagine 50 years ago it was not the thing to do. So
Right.
I was considered dumb and stupid because I couldn't read. But
Mm.
anyway, now it's a gift. But but you see how our culture has taught us to feel the guilt. So I'm asking people to help override the conditioning that you have received. And it's a mind game first. It's a mind game. And our inner critic, everybody knows the inner critic. You can't do that. And, they say, shut it up. Well, I'll tell people you got to make friends with it. And I
Right.
have a video on my on YouTube about how to make friends with your inner critic. The inner critic produces the shame and guilt within you.
Okay. Okay.
So if you have a problem, who do you go to, the worker or the boss?
To the boss. Well,
To the boss. Well,
sometimes
you know what I
you
mean.
might, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
The
the
boss.
boss who's creating the problem, right? Not
Right.
the people they are working with. The
Right.
boss so you go to the boss, and the boss is the inner critic.
Right.
So if we can make friends with the inner critic, we got it made. This isn't something we can solve in 5 minutes, but I can help change your perception
Right.
that you're not people are not supposed to feel the shame and guilt. It's an energy force upon us. Okay. And it's outside of us. We feel it, but we feel it as depression, anxiety, prostication. I'm not good enough. I feel terrible. So if we can just take the labels of shame and guilt and put them on the side and work with our depression, anxiety, anger, we're a whole lot better than we used to be.
Amazing. That's great. So what about the people who what are the people who feel comfortable in this state where they take their shame and guilt and they use it. I say that like they might use it as a tactic. Like I can't do all of those things, so I'm fine where I am.
Well,
Yeah.
everybody's on a different level of evolution.
Okay.
Everyone's on a treadmill without an off button.
Right.
Okay,
I
we're
like
on
that.
eternal progression, but that
Right.
doesn't mean one person's ahead of another. And everybody, um, they're okay where they are, and that's fine. But there's a vast majority of people that want to excel. They want
Right.
to do well in their business. They want to be
Right.
a good father. They want to be a good mother. They want to be good to their customers. And for that, you got to kind of evolve. You got to have the emotional IQ. And the only way to get the healthy emotional IQ is to get rid of the shame and guilt that's blocking you, because we're all geniuses.
Yeah.
We're all
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
We all have that. We're human. The human being is the best species in the universe. Okay? We're the smartest ones around. The only thing is we got hit with the shame guilt tornado.
Mm, I love it. This is amazing. Great stuff. So I got like two more questions. So you said that this affects our business, how we manage, how we deal with our business. How does this affect how we manage our business? How we represent it to the world?
Well, communications is the biggest thing, I think, in business.
Right.
And a great communicator, and just take this, do your own investigation, do your own research, and
Mm,
how you talk with different people or how people talk to you. It's a shame-based culture. So the people that don't shame you in their talking, like, oh, thank you so much, I never thought of it that way, instead of saying, well, that was really stupid, that's dumb, and you walk away. The communication is what is business.
yeah.
And you always thank somebody, you always have respect. And when you don't have the shame guilt running around, it's an automatic communication skill,
Yeah.
because you're coming from the heart, not the shame guilt
Yeah. I'm glad.
programming.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that because even like I would talk to different people and I would have those emotions. I would have like, am I worthy enough to be in this place? Because I've had in the past where I've had partners who maybe didn't give me this credit enough to be, their partner or what have you, or I would have opportunities and people would shun me or cut me off because I'm not like they didn't think I was worthy enough. So I felt that, and then I pile on myself. Well, maybe I'm not worthy enough. Maybe I come into different places now, networking and say I'm not. I'm already there because I felt that from other people. How do you address that?
Okay, the feeling that you feel like, oh my God, I'm not good enough. That's
Right.
terrible. I'll never.
Right.
You take that and you go, you throw it away, because it's just energy, and you
Okay.
don't want it. Okay, you can just like, I give it back to you, or I don't accept that, or you can just say, I don't accept that. I am good.
Mm, yeah.
You
Yeah.
say no to shameful remarks. And everybody gets them. And you even say it to yourself. I do it too. I mean, seriously.
All right.
Um, it's a work in progress, but
Yeah.
at least you know that shame guilt does not make you a better person. It's not yours to own or to give. And the best communicator, the best business person, is the one that does non-shameful communication. Now, there are some communicator experts out there, and they tell you the right words to say. But I'm telling you why they have the best words to say, because they're not shame guiltful.
Mm.
And it's your tone of saying it.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness, yeah, you did a da.
Yeah.
Rather than,
Okay.
oh, what is wrong with you today?
Just
You
the
know, it's
result.
your tone.
Right. Yeah.
So
Okay.
my grandsons always say, well, Asha did a da today. I didn't get 100. I only got 90, but it's a da.
Okay.
Do you
Yeah.
see how the difference changes?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I say that in business because, oh, let me tell you, my woo-woo commerce on the my website didn't work, and it's a long story. But anyway, so I wrote to everybody, and I said, um, you know, the tech monster came to my website and made a mess, and it was quite interesting. And I'm giving you a free book because you had an inconvenience of a delay mailing. I didn't say, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't. No, it happens, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
And just say, the tech monster got into my website and I didn't get your order until 2 weeks later. And here's an extra book for the inconvenience. Thank you so much for understanding.
Right. Right.
Do you see the difference?
Yep. 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 Tone, wording, phrasing, how you frame it is
And
key.
apologies, okay, it's okay. But when you go, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry that happened, and what can I do to da and da da da, that you're shaming yourself.
Yeah.
You did a da, you know.
Yeah. I like the dot thing.
I love the da. I did a okay. And then I said to the kids, the older ones, I said, look, okay, if you don't do your homework and you don't study and you fail your exam, that is not a da.
Amazing. Great stuff. Great stuff.
that,
Great
that
stuff.
is not a da. But the little things that make you pull down.
Okay. Great. So I have one last question before we get out of here. This is amazing stuff. I'm glad you're here for the first episode of the year. So this is great. So tell us, this last question I ask all of my guests, and goes something like this. It's about the people who are talking to you, who are listening to you now. They're hearing you, and they want to do the same things that you're doing. They want to be in the space and help other people like you are, get out of their guilt, get out of their shame, and be successful and get over their stomach blocks. And they want to do what you're doing. Can you tell them, and I'll put you front and center, can you tell them real quick how they can become an authority in this space like you are?
Yes. Okay, the first step is education. And that's why I call myself an educator, counselor, filmmaker, because we as a culture don't even know what shame guilt behavior is. We just say that's normal. I have an ebook that has 500 questions, one answer. So I have 500 different ways that you can understand how shame guilt comes into your life. Now you know what to avoid.
Okay.
I would suggest to do that first, and also the DVD that I have on YouTube that talks with the inner critic of yourself and how you can make friends with it.
Amazing.
And that's a very good start. I have a free free talk with you for 15 minutes if you're interested in more of my work, and you can call me or email me. And I have a lot of interesting things on my website. That's a good start.
Oh yeah, I think so. Please go ahead and check out her website. It is packed full of great information, like she just said. So amazing. Thank you so much, Lois, for being on this show. It was very insightful, I must say.
Exactly. So if it can just help you think another way, we have a win.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great stuff. So please tell everybody where they can see you and get a hold of you. You've already said some of it already, but after the show, how can we get a hold of you?
LoisHollis.com. LoisHollis.com.
Okay.
And I have a lot of podcasts there, and each one is different. So if you want to know more about shame guilt, just listen to some of the podcasts and you'll get very, very smart.
Oh yeah. Great stuff.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
stuff.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
stuff. All right. And everybody, And I hope you're having a successful 2021 already. It's January 4th. We've got a long ways to go. Was it 361 days left for this year? But go there and just to stay updated with the show. Go to theauthorityletter.com, join that list, and we'll help you build your authority platform. We got more hacks there. I write every week there about what I'm doing behind the scenes for you. I got videos and letters and giveaways. So check that out. And I'm still saying happy holidays right now because I want to be in the happy mode still. How's that sound, Lois?
Stay there. And anytime shame guilt says knock and say the door is closed.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Great stuff.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right. Great. I so appreciate you here on the show. And I'm good. We are good. And
I know. I'm good. I'm good. How about you?
I am very good. Thank you so much, everybody, for being on the show. Take care. And we will see you on the next one on the Authority Project. Build it, share it, and they will come. And we're out. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And that's a wrap for this episode of The Authority Project. Thanks so much for tuning in. And if you like what you heard, we want to hear from you. Subscribe, rate, and give an honest review. Share and tell your friends so they can hear too. And for even more authority building tactics, be sure to sign up at theauthorityletter.com. Get free weekly content and ongoing digital product giveaways to help you on your entrepreneurial journey. We certainly hope you got a key takeaway or maybe an aha moment from today's broadcast. Just remember, it's your authority. Build it, share it, and they will come. Until next time.